everybody. This is Melissa, your free range psychic. Today is April 28th, 2026. I wonder if I put the wrong date on the video. I'll have to go check and correct it if I did. But in fact, I'm gonna check real quick. Nope, it was correct. I'm so, for your astrology people out there, I'm so ruled by Neptune. It had been all my life that I always second guess myself because it's just, I really, it's a fact of my life. Hey, everybody. Hey, Maria, is it Marianne or Marianne? Hey, Annette, Nanette. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Jarisa. Good to see you. Yes, I'm fine. I'm doing well. Yeah, well, nothing to talk about. Nothing ever happens, and it's so boring, right, in this country. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Teresa. If I hadn't already said hello. Yeah, what's there to talk about? Oh my God. So I'm going to say it. This is what I planned beforehand. What I believe about the whatever happened on when was it? Was it Saturday? The kerfuffle at the correspondence dinner. I can call it a kerfuffle. Hey Selma, hey Kathy, good to see you. Good afternoon. So absolutely fake, absolutely BS. From the beginning, I kind of looked at it and I thought, huh? That's fake. And now I see even some people on, the progressive side are kind of going, oh no, like, yeah, it was probably, somebody did it. It happened to Obama, but oh my God. I don't see how anybody can think, and I don't need to be criticizing anybody if they do think it was a real attempt, but there are so many red flags about the situation. And right from the beginning, I knew Butler too was fake as far as I can see, entertainment purposes only. I'm just a psychic talking to her guides. What the heck do I know? But I perceive that as fake, and I perceive this as extremely fake and pathetic. It was just like watching some kind of Netflix, like dark comedy, with a Kash Patel just sitting there in the middle of all that chaos. And that, like he forgot he was the FBI director. And there was a rumor going around. I don't know if it was true or not. Allegedly, I haven't asked my guides if it was true, but allegedly there was a rumor going around that he caught his girlfriend, the country singer, with another guy. And his whole world is kind of upside down, I guess, because he was in love with her. And so yeah, I think of almost every single aspect of that event, and none of it makes sense. And one of the first key points is that, or I should say the first key point, it wasn't the first thing I thought of, I didn't know, but one of the most, like, if I was going to underline something, or I was going to, highlight it, like in blue or yellow or whatever. Hey, Artistic World. Hey, Selma. Hey, Linda. Good to see you guys. It would be for the pure fact that it was only on that day that the orange one decided to go, allegedly, because usually he doesn't go, and he wasn't going to go. I think they said he wasn't going to go to that event. And then all of a sudden he's going to go. And how would, whatever his name is, the alleged assassin, know that he planned this whole thing out, and even wrote a manifesto, which I find sus. Like, now every time there's some kind of assassination attempt, there's a manifesto. Like, that's a thing now. So he had to, like, know and plan in advance that if this was directed at the Orange One, that he was going to go, then he had to like assemble his weapons and get on a train, which took days, I think, and booked a hotel room on the show. And there was like no chance that at that time that he would have known that the Orange One was going to go. And then there was no security on that particular day. I heard some guy, I think it was on Stephanie Miller, I don't even know who it was, going, if the hotel checked everybody's bags, then that's not America, and they wouldn't do such a thing because it would offend people. And I'm thinking, on the day of that particular day when notables are going to be there, yes, you do check bags. Because even if the Orange One didn't go, there were a lot of other very important people that were going to, show up, or they thought we were going to show up. That's what you would do. What kind of hotel would that be, to not do full background checks and security on that particular day? That made no sense to me. And then the fact that he was able to sprint through security like he did so fast, and the whole thing. Did anybody kind of? I didn't watch any coverage of it until I got it on my YouTube screen that this attempt had happened, and and then it was hysterically funny as Stephen Miller shielded himself with his very pregnant wife, and there was so much chaos, and people were taking bottles of wine. There was somebody just still eating his food. The way that the Orange One looked at Melania, who I don't think knew anything about it, but he had a smirk on his face, and the way they took Vance out first, and it was so poorly done. And then in unison, you have the right-wing media demanding the ballroom. But the ballroom has nothing to do with this venue. It didn't happen at the White House. It happened at a hotel. And that event was hosted by the Press Association. It wasn't, or the National Press Association. It wasn't under the venue of the White House. So what does it have to do with the ballroom? You're not going to be having that event in the ballroom. And the other thing is, if his security, which has really been terrible in the last year, right, with all the other attempts and those things that happened, how are they going to secure 1,000, is it 10,000 square foot or whatever ballroom, or 20,000 square foot? I forget how big that was going to be. If they can't secure just this hotel, it makes no sense. It was this, to use a Yiddish word, it was a fakakta plan that made no sense, that showed such desperation to try, like they did with Butler, to get people sympathetic to the Orange One, and to get everything that they want done, including that they want to have the taxpayers fund the ballroom, and they're trying to push that through, I think, through Congress, along with everything else they want, as if all of a sudden everything they want is going to happen because of this stupid event. Oh, really? That's interesting, Linda. John Hinckley, who shot Reagan at the same hotel, said they shouldn't have any precedents at events there. So why did he go when he never, not never, he's gone a couple times, but he for a long, long time hasn't gone, because he doesn't like being roasted. He doesn't have the tolerance for it. He has a very thin skin. Things rankle for a very long time for him, because that's what happens with narcissists. That's what happens when they're made fun of. They can be really cruel about other people, but they cannot take it. Yeah, the correspondents decide where the event is held, not Trump. Yeah, so what does any of this have to do with the ballroom? It has nothing to do with this ballroom. It made no sense. If it had been an event held at the White House, maybe, but it was not under their purview at all. And really what the focus should be is on the security and big investigations into how terrible the security is, why the security allowed any of this to happen. Artistic World says, don't go to dinner, stay home and chew the cud. Linda says, and the macho, manly GOP husbands leaving their wives. That's true. RFK left Cheryl behind, too. Out the door. The whole thing, what a terrible embarrassment. And MAGA probably, or disaffected MAGA, the Fuentes MAGA, that has now rejected the orange one. They were probably the first ones to post, I think, probably on TikTok and YouTube. I didn't see it immediately after, but how fake it was. Because what poor timing also, don't his people, whoever planned these events, realize that people are doubting Butler now? So why wouldn't this coincide with that? And there's a big group of people that are doubting Butler. Hey, Celtic Sarah. So it's just, God, what the heck is going on with those people? And one of the things I wanted to do was ask my guides about the ballroom, like do a deep dive into the ballroom, because why is the ballroom so important? I think I did that last week, but we can relook at it. So I was recapping last week thinking, well, what did I hit on? What didn't I? The thing that came to mind, the first thing I think was about King Charles. I didn't know whether he was coming here or not, but I think what the guides were showing me was the controversy his visit has caused, which is huge over there. And people are very, very angry about him coming, and had told him or begged him not to come. And it's very negative for King Charles to be here. So maybe that's what I was seeing, because I didn't get the straight answer. And I'm pretty sure that's what they were showing me. And I think there was probably a point where he thought maybe not to come, but whatever their relationship is, he chose to. But oh yeah, okay. So that there was that, because I always kind of rethink like what I heard, and if I'm asking in the moment, I'm not always going to get the full picture. It's probably more effective for me to do it off camera and really cogitate on it and try to hear. But it's okay, because it's alive, and that's kind of something I want to gift you. But I always tell you, like I did last week and the week before that take what I say with a big grain of salt, because it's easier and probably more accurate for me to ask those questions quietly and without any distraction, that kind of thing. But I do think that's what I hit on. And the other thing, remember somebody asked me whether Carolyn Levitt was going to leave, and we all thought she was going to leave. And what I had keyed into her not wanting to leave, and she loved the power. And the last minute, she's decided not to leave, even though she's very, very pregnant. She decided after the so-called incident at the hotel that she was needed. So maybe I think that's what I was keying into for sure. Let's look at your comments. I expect 45 to start selling ballroom piggyback soon. Jeez Louise. Oh, yeah. Don't give him that idea, because he'll do it. Any kind of merch. And that's the thing about the ballroom, is the grift. Hey, Sandy, good to see you. Oh, really, Celtic Stare? Why do you say that? Celtic Stare, for those who aren't watching but just listening, she said King Charles' health is going downhill fast this summer. Are you looking at his stars, or are your guides telling you? Celtic also says UAE has just announced they are leaving OPEC. Will this speed up the opening of the Hormuz Strait? Oh gosh, that also reminded me about what's going on with Iran. And I know this is probably annoying, but it's bothering me. I know that I've had pushback on saying this regarding who's in charge of Iran, but I've heard so many people, even the people, the progressives, assuming that we really have killed off the chain of command. And I'm thinking, people, do your homework. It's just awful that we don't know as America. It's a bad stereotype that we are ignorant of other cultures. But the president of Iran is still president of Iran, and now especially with the Ayatollahs gone, he's even more powerful. And there's a tier of leaders beneath him. It's kind of a hierarchical structure. He is elected. There's a president elected every 4 years, so it's like a semi-democratic, semi-authoritarian rule in that country. It's complex, but he is there, and he is the one who is over the army and over the ruling assemblies. So I've heard so many people say this now, just offhand. Oh, they've got nobody over there ruling. So who's going to negotiate with the Orange One's administration? But that's not true. And I really want to say this: we are being majorly gaslighted. We are being told that half of their army is destroyed, and they got an army, they've got boats, they've got. If they didn't have a very powerful army and we're in a very sophisticated society, then they wouldn't have been able to block the Hormuz or the Vermouth Strait. Scott Besson said, called it the Vermouth Strait. Oh my God! Or at least it sounded like he did. That was a big joke last week, right? Or the week before. And I asked my guides about this, but I feel like so much of what we're being told and what comes up on our feed, it's very, very hard to find current information on what's going on over there that's not some kind of lie, except when we watch the Lego videos, right? Which are fantastic. But that society is intact. The Ayatollahs were not the bureaucrats. They were very powerful. They did rule on the culture and what was it? They were religious. The religious autocrats, and they ruled the media and all of that. But there is still a president, and he has spoken, and he's written open letters to our country. And please Google, who is the president of Iran? Find out. It's very important for us as Americans to know what's really happening. And that's one way we can start, is finding out who's really president or who's really running Iran. Because they're not it's a kind of colonial, like the Victorians, how they projected onto Africa, that they're all barbarian, primal, well, they wanted to project them as subhuman to justify the genocide, right, and the takeover of resources. And that's just true of any imperialistic type of culture or expansionist culture. That was the way with the Romans and I'm sure Genghis Khan and so forth and so on. I mean, it's just what they do, right? But be aware that we are being gaslighted majorly. And somehow we need to bring in the news, like the world news, and really understand what's going on out there, because we do not know. If we believe that half the army is obliterated in Iran and they're in chaos there, that is not true, not at all. And that's we're not winning that war like in Venezuela. That didn't happen. It's not the same thing. We're the pirates at the moment, and they're the civilized society, Iran. It's just crazy. So Celtics here is saying astrologically the administration will be under serious stress in August. A showdown is coming. Sandy said Melania looked like a captive bird, but still going with the plan, which she will always do. On stage with King Charles. And Celtic Seer says astrologically look at King Charles' chart. He's going into decline, may abdicate due to his failing health. And actually, it's interesting, Celtic Seer. I remember over a year ago, I think, doing a video with Adam, the astrologer, and he read on that, and I read on that. He read the chart of King Charles, and I asked my guides, and we got that information. But yeah, I mean, he's had cancer for a while, right? But we did get that he would have a health event that would take him out of at least his reign of power as king. So before I go on, I haven't forgotten. I'm going to ask about the Strait of Hormuz from my guides. Sorry, it's so dark. I would get a brighter light, which I have several lights, believe it or not, but they also affect my eyes, so they're very bright. But I think I probably should get one more large, the kind that you have to take passport photos under or something. I have these smaller lights, and I don't think they're as effective. I think it's just sitting by the light and the color of the paint. Okay. I'm going to ask my guides about the Strait of Hormuz and realize that's very powerful. Like if you're playing Risk or something, if you own that, you're in a very powerful position, because something like 20% of oil and oil byproducts globally go through there. Okay, I'm going to ask. So the guides are telling me that the orange one believed it would be just like Venezuela, and that he could control and also extort and exploit the Strait of Hormuz. And believe me, with people like Witkoff and Lutnick and Kushner or whatever, they were going to charge tolls, and they really thought they could. I think that was the attraction more than anything else to this alleged it's not an alleged attack. I think what I was trying to say is, they allegedly attacked it for the nuclear dust and to stop Iran having nuclear weapons, which they must have known. I mean, the Secret Service, or the secret, not the Secret Service, but our secret, what are we calling them, the CIA or whatever, they knew that there wasn't a threat that way. There was so much more going on with this attack. And since God knows the Republicans have wanted to bomb Iran, and the people behind the orange one are those people like, John McCain, didn't Sarah Palin say that too? But people who really just wanted to, Lindsey Graham, right? Just really wanted to do this thing. It was it was on their fantasy list or bucket list. And because, the Islamic and the Vietnamese and whatever. But as the guys are saying, as Melissa said so herself, they had so much arrogance not to understand the sophistication and strength of Iran as a society and the army. And unfortunately, they're kind of making mincemeat, and that's a terrible. I didn't mean to pun or anything. Mincemeat of our soldiers who are totally unprepared for what they're experiencing there. And there are many more. The guys are saying allegedly entertainment purposes only. This isn't entertaining, but I'm just saying there are many more dead than we've been told. Many more casualties of our men and women. The Orange one in his administration put us in a terrible, terrible position. So the Hormuz Strait, it will be open within. It's like it opens and closes. It opens and closes. That's what they're showing me. Eventually open for good. This will be in the past. It won't affect prices as much as we think, like long term. Short term, yes. Long term, something's going to come back into a normality. And they are telling me here that, you know, this administration's not going to be here very much longer. Sanity will come in. They always remind me, it's like they tap me on the shoulder, especially when I'm worrying, and they say democracy will stand strong. You know, it might be rocking a little bit like a big, you know, imagine the Statue of Liberty. She's rocking a little bit, but it's strong. It's going to be grounded. So that's what they're saying. Okay, I'm looking at our the comments here, the questions. Apyap, tell me what that is. I have no idea. Apyap is asking, hi Melissa, thoughts about the Virginia Supreme Court decision from a couple hours ago. Tell me what that was, okay? I don't know what that was. I know that there was a block of the White House ballroom construction. It was blocked. It was appealed. It was the block was lifted, and the appeals court shunted down the actual final verdict to July. But then I just saw before I came on that it was blocked again, the ballroom. But I don't know if that's what you're talking about or not. So please let me know. IRGC is running around currently. The Italia's son was injured and comprised. Given the Lego propaganda, it's quite successful. But why the appeal to the American people? Ask the right question. The president, yeah, who's the IRGC? The president of Iran he's not dead. I think he's still alive. I think he's in charge of the country right now. But you can Google that. Who's the Iranian? What is the IRGC? Ask what is the right question, Celtics here. Yeah, what is the right question? I can Google and kind of link what I found regarding the president of Iran, but there is a president, and there's beneath him are like 83 clerics, and beneath him there's a whole tier of bureaucrats running that country. The Ayatollahs weren't the only ones running the country; they were on the top. But unless I don't know that the president of Iran may have been assassinated or something, I don't think he has been. But I mean, just be ignorant of that. I don't know. Celtic Sarah, will Netanyahu be voted out by the Israel public? Oh, on October 27th, is that when the election is? Close to the American midterms. Timing is interesting. What do your guides have to say? Just taking a sip. Why is it so dark? Okay, let's see. Yes, the guides say. Also, do you remember me asking the guys, and they saw Netanyahu having pancreatic cancer, or no, prostate cancer, and he did. It came out that he did have prostate cancer, but now he's saying that he's totally clear of it. But he did have that. He is Israel admitted that yes, but I don't think he's clear of it actually. But he did have that. That's what I saw. Yeah, so they're saying Netanyahu will be voted out. He really wants to cling to power, like the orange one. He doesn't want to go to prison. His health is going to decline really, really quickly. Really, really quickly. All these guys, including Putin. Although I always see Putin potentially as because he's in such a precarious state right now, and it's chaos in Moscow. I've been watching Jason J. Smart, and he talks about that a lot. He's a national security advisor in Ukraine. I see him. They, they say, my guys say funny things. Well, not funny things, but just kind of, they go like Putin go boom, kind of, just kind of joking, but not joking. But they, say things like that to me. They see him being unalived by Prigozhin's supporters. Yep, that's what they show me, and they say it's going to happen pretty soon. Thielen says, I thought saying they were looking for profit from world shipping in the Strait and Panama Canal. Yeah, 100%. This is always about the grift, always about profit, always about something nefarious like that. And then they go in there like pirates, and it's so disgusting. It's so illegal. It's so criminal. And maybe that's why they're building that bunker beneath the ballroom, to somehow stay in power. I think they think that they have a chance, and I'm saying the Orange One's administration, to take our country over. And that's part of it. It's so egregious, but I don't believe it will, although they are working on that. The problem is, okay, you guys, the problem is with the Orange One. He always says, I'm a real estate developer. I've had lots of experience. Well, he does things on the cheap. So it's like building the wall. There's still only like a 3-mile wall built that's really easy to get over. And also it's provided a road that's easy to trespass, to be able to find areas to get into our countries. Just made it easier. And he also ceded land to Mexico because of wanting to build this straight line, apparently. And the guides say, yeah, they want to install an autocracy, an impregnable, is that the right word? Bunker where they can kind of launch their rule from. Oh, yeah, but because the Orange One is so cheap, and he's always trying to get his supporters to pay for it, it's going to be a mess down there. It may even be that they don't look at the environmental factors, and it could flood, and people promise him a lot. He likes whatever sounds good and expensive, like we'll paint the whole thing in gold. But whatever he's being promised it's a lie, and so the ensuing product would be very poor quality. That's what they're showing me. Because he doesn't pay, right? He doesn't pay his workers. He's famous for that. So whatever he's promising, it's a grift, like the Trump phone, the the Bitcoin stuff, all of that. It's just if you really kind of scratch the surface, you're going to looking at cons and grifts and easy money. So even the ballroom is, as scary as it sounds, is it a paper tiger? Is that the right description? Okay, I think I've missed some questions here. Let's look here. Oh, won't allow certification. Are you talking about the where is your comment here? Of the election, like no peaceful transfer of power. Hey, Mimi. Did I say hello to you too, Lynn? I know I read your comment. The guides are saying there will be a peaceful transfer of power. Things are going to change so fast and fall into the hands of the Democrats. That's what the guides show me. Very quickly. Because more members of Congress of the GOP are going to fall by the wayside, and Mike Johnson will be out of a job. Wow, he's a piece of work, isn't he, Mikey? Thielen says these smaller countries are like sitting ducks against the U.S., a NATO country gone rogue. Read some Pacific strike survivors claim that they were kidnapped and tortured by U.S. forces. Wow. Wow, that's horrible. So much horrible stuff. What will happen to Cuba? Marlo's asking. That's a good question. They want to invade Cuba just like they did with Venezuela. Why don't we ask also what's going to happen with Venezuela? Oh yeah, this is my pendulum. When I'm swinging it, I don't do the typical yes or no. It just opens a portal for me to hear my guides, and then when I stop using it, the portal closes. So I'm opening up the portal with the pendulum. I developed it kind of organically, so I don't even know how it works, but that's just how it's come to be after being such a curious monkey and asking a bazillion questions. This is it's like a shorthand or something. So that's why, if you're wondering, well, why is it just swinging around like that? That's actually what I'm doing with it. Okay, the guides are saying Cuba, they're not, whatever it looks like, they're not going to take over Cuba. They want to, but they're not going to be able to. And Cuba is going to go through a lot of transformation. And I think they're going to make alliances with some other countries to be stronger, to find alternatives. And then Venezuela, they're also going to become stronger. I mean, that whole thing about taking, what's his name? Machado, I'm probably saying it wrong, the Venezuelan president. Now remember that Trump was great friends with him, right? So we haven't even heard anything about them. So maybe he's playing along. It's the same regime that's there. It didn't change because they kidnapped the president and his wife. It was something that was planned in advance with Venezuela, it's like a false flag, just like allegedly what I think happened anyway, Monday. They do this like theater, like an immersive, and they don't care if like to them the army are props, people are props on all sides. So if they have to die, they have to die. It doesn't matter. They'll use people like props and they think that's a powerful way to meet their like needs, and that's what they did with Venezuela, and that's in essence what they're doing with Iran too, because they're always describing it as something it's not, and then going in there and Maduro, sorry, yeah, President Maduro from Venezuela. Thank you, Mara. uh, U.S. to a district, but peaceful transfer of power is also good to know. And my guide showed me this. Probably you guys got some similar information, but they told me, and I know I mentioned it on my live, is redistricting was going to become, believe, backfire on the Republicans. It was going to be a huge failure because it was going to give the Democrats the win. Just everything's backfiring, and this will backfire too. The Monday, whatever that was, when Linda Bishop says when Dems get Congress Oval 2, we need to make the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico states. Yeah, I think a lot of those things will happen, like ratifying the Equal Rights Amendment and all the things we wanted are going to definitely, like, no messing around, right? These things are going to happen now. Like ratifying Planned Parenthood, and the right for a woman to have control and autonomy over her body. These things I believe, are going to happen. Brenda's asking, Melissa, will Trump go after Greenland? Denmark and EU very clear about this. Oh, that the U.S. are going to go after Greenland? Is that what you mean? No. In the end, no. That's something that TL and those people really want. They want the resources there, and it's in their scheme, Vance too, of like a America that we have the whole continent and adjoining territories. That's what they want. It's kind of like the 1,000-year Reich for the West. But guides say no. Will Celtic Sears asking, will Vance be installed as president? If so, for how long? Oh, Steve, thank you. I'm going to put your comment. Oh, whoops. Where did that comment go? Don't forget to click thumbs up for me. Thank you. I really appreciate it when you do, and subscribe for sure if you haven't yet, and share if you want. Thank you, Celtic Stair. Will Vance be installed as president? I maybe on this one, I always say that if I have skin in the game, it's hard for me to get a clear answer. And the idea of Vance being in the Oval Office is disgusting to me. So please, this is a large grain of salt for me to answer this one right now. I get no. I get Vance. No. I don't see him there. And he, you know how they say you in danger, girl? The guys are kind of saying that about Vance because he's so hated around the world, and he's such a threat. And not necessarily. I mean, he's like, I call him Fancy Pants Vance. I don't really know why. It just sounds good. Well, I kind of do know why, but you know what I mean. But he's so nefarious. I mean, his dreams of the new Nazis, and him as a conduit for TL and Musk and those terrible people. So I'm getting no, but we'll see. But I just don't think so. Or my guides say no. These people, it's like accumulation of karma, attacking other countries, uh, espousing white supremacy. Oh, they're just reminding me of Erica Kirk saying, "We need men. We need more men, more white male men." Like that is their belief. I mean, the audacity to say that at an event. Do you remember that? We need more white male, and I don't think she meant mailmen, as in men who deliver the mail. T. Lynn saying last week, Virginia passed legislation that contraception is a right. Oh, I didn't know that. That's amazing. They have a wonderful governor and legislature there in Virginia. That's our future. Virginia is the future of our country. YouTube haven't given me a hype button, I don't think. Have they? I'll see how I can get one, Mimi. Thank you. I don't quite know how YouTube works. Brenda's asking, have a question. Will the regime try and kidnap King Charles and his wife? That would be so wild. Kidnap? Is that a rumor going around or something? No. The guys are saying no. Not to be kidnapped. No, and the orange one, oh my God, he kisses the feet of the monarchy. He really worships the monarchy. He wants so much to be that, you know. He wants to be royal. He wants the monarchy here, with his sons, you know, taking over when he leaves the planet. Yes, I agree. Celtic Seer, Vance's Chale's creature. These tech bros are a danger to the world. Ivy's saying Trump attacked Canada again with many insults. Canada has retaliated, but I'm unable to fact check. Yeah, that's a thing. But in the end, it's not going to come down to what the orange one wants it to come down to. It's like his the orange one's time is just so short, so fleeting, and this whole regime is so fleeting. They're showing me like a candle that's just about to go out. Oh, stealing leaders from their countries, yeah. Celtic Seer, will George Soros' influence wane when he passes? He's being hit with August solar eclipse. Well, I know that he has a past, right? I think Scott Bessent used to work for him or something. But he has tried to do good in the world. And I think he has been very clever with the way that he's invested his energy and money so that his influence will be felt for a long time, but it's not negative at all. He's funded some good candidates and some good word charitable, I want to say philanthropic. I can't get that word out. So, societies and things like that. So Ivy says, I'm so proud of Canada. I don't blame you. We envy you. Are you Canadian? Because we do envy Canada. Most of us who, probably the majority of us. Celtic Sears says King Charles and C aren't worth the time of day. Yeah, a lot of English people think that too. They're so angry. I saw like something on the BBC or something about, philanthropists. Thank you. Thank you, Mimi. I couldn't get that word out. It's just a huge controversy that he's come over. People are just very upset about it over there. On The Apprentice, they raised money for charities. Did they ever get any of that money? Marion's asking. No. That's what the guys say. I'm not saying. I guess I'm only saying what my guys are saying. I can't 100% say they didn't, but my guys are like, no, they did not. The royals write speeches that go over 45's head, mostly insults to him. Funny, Linda says. Oh, so, gosh, time is passing so fast. Let's see what else my guys want to talk about. They just want you to know that what happened on Monday, that false flag, is that they're calling it, is a sign of desperation, and it's just going to be a disaster for them. It's just going to isolate and push away even remaining MAGA supporters. Just and let's ask about Kash Patel. Notice that this administration fired women and not the men. Yeah, they're calling Kash a useful idiot. They can go in and pretty much do whatever they want because he's useless, but he's useful in that way. Because really, this administration controls the FBI. He will step down though. He spent too much time away from his podcast. But he leaves chaos in his wake. He's wasted so many resources. And he was probably put in there to destroy the FBI, just like Kristi Noem was put in there to destroy Homeland Security. And these were intentional picks to destroy our government. That's why they only hire sociopaths and train wrecks of people, because that's what they want. It's like planting a bomb here and planting a bomb there. These people are those bombs. They're each a grenade and blowing up their department because they want to destroy our government. Yeah, he did. He's happy like a lemon. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Marlo. Celtic Sears asking, will the money for ICE continue to be held up? Will the Dems continue to obstruct the amount that is allocated to ICE? Yes. Yes. They will. Even though I know people would like people like Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries to be more forceful, they're extremely intelligent and they are strategizing, just like Nancy Pelosi, into the future. And they're very clever at what they're doing. So just know that they may not be the most forceful personalities, but in terms of what they're actually, like the groundwork that they're laying to overcome this coup, and for the Democrats to seize power, it's mind-blowing. And they don't care they're not acting to a crowd. They know what people say about them, but they're beyond that. So just so you know, which is why we're winning so many elections, besides the fact that this country is disgusted by the current occupant of the partial White House, or the partially destroyed White House. And he's done that to himself. But in terms of paving the way for great candidates locally, state, and federal to come in, that's genius. And we don't notice that, but that's happening. Oh, really, Marianne? Kristi Noem still hasn't left the military house she was living in, even though the general wants it back. Whoa. That's crazy. Brenda's saying, so while the useful idiots are destroying the USA, is Putin gleeful? No, because Putin's not doing very well. Putin had this, he would be gleeful if he wasn't about to be cooed out of existence if his government wasn't falling apart. The banks right now, the Russian banks are failing. Everything that Putin has done has backfired on him, and he's in a bad place. So he's not. He would be gleeful if things were going better for him, but they're going terribly. That's what I hear, and the guys are saying yes. He's in a big mess. So that's going to be interesting to watch his fall, because what they say will happen this year. He wanted it. I mean, he set it up. He probably told, you know, the Orange One to hire. He probably chose all these people to hire. I mean, look at Tulsi Gabbard. But it just hasn't worked out the way he envisioned it, because in the meantime, you know, he picked the wrong country to attack. You know, Ukraine is an amazing force now. I mean, what they've become, what they're capable of. So it's interesting, huh? But it is in synergy with us coming into Aquarius and this catastrophic kind of Pluto in Aquarius, but also transformative energy shift. That so that what was is not sustainable. You know, what the autocratic, oligarchic plutocracy that people like the Orange One and Netanyahu and Orban and you know everybody in the that patriarchal mix worked so hard for and wanted. It's not possible. It's not going to be possible for the future. Collectively, it's just not going to be possible. That's what the guys are saying. And I'm just confirming with my guides. And then pushing to rename ice to nice. Oh my gosh. The Celtic Seer says, thank you, Teelan. Celtic Seer says the incompetence and egos of these appointees are an affront and direct attack on the American public intentionally. I always want to remind people, everything's intentional. It's not just because we think the Orange One is stupid or incompetent, or it is intentional. The coup that was started, well, I think 2015, 2016, really, but I mean the actual like obvious in your face coup of January 6th, it only temporarily failed. It regained its momentum and was installed, as far as I believe, in 2024. So we're still in coup land, but not forever, I don't think. How does T-Len's asking, how does Cash's girlfriend feel about blowback on her getting tax-funded security? She's an interesting one. A lot of people think she's Mossad, but I think she's Russian. Honeypot, like, yeah, like why would she be with poor Cash? So sad. But I think she's a handler. No, I'm asking if she's Mossad or if she's even TPUSA or something, you know, from that group. But they're saying no, she's Putin. Was placed her by Putin. Of course, he would, you know. Of course, he'd want Cash to have, you know, a honeypot girlfriend. And what does she feel about it? She's grifting on it, reporting back to her boss, kind of like Mata Hari or something. Linda's asking question: our Navy military Are they really near starving and eating tiny portions? I don't know that story. Let's see. It's mixed. They're really not getting treated very well because Hexas or Kexpress, like a terrible, terrible uh, leader and drunk so much of the time. They're not. I think it's kind of mixed. It's not the best it's ever been there, though. Teelan's asking why is Gabbard so quiet lately? She's a reincarnation of Elizabeth Becker. The resemblance is dropping. Who was Elizabeth Becker? I don't know who that was. If you could let me know. Celtic Clear says, Melissa, you are correct. All of this started back in 2014 with the annexation of Crimea. Obama chose not to take any action. It was complicated, the guides say, to go ahead and do that. I don't think I'll get into it right now, but I'll ask my guides later. Oh, just like Putin's military, Ivy says. Yep, that makes absolute sense. So we're at the 4 o'clock hour. And again, really enjoyed this time with you guys. There's too much drama. Too much drama. Tulsi is a Russian asset. Yes. She may be she may be the next, besides Cash, to be fired. Even though she's Putin's pick, there's certain things she blocks. She's not 100% with. She is with Putin. So, but the orange one has other plans. There's other things he wants and wants her to do that she doesn't want to risk. Oh, she wants to run for president again, I think. So she just won't always go along with the game plan. Put her neck on the chopping block, and that's why she stays quiet. That's what the guides say. Yes, I agree. My guides always tell me that, Marlo, Ukraine will win in the end. Yes, Slava Ukraine. Yeah, Zelensky pointed out Gabbard years ago. I didn't realize that, Sharon. Thank you, Marianne. I enjoyed spending time with you. I love you guys. So I'm going to go. And again, I will end with reminding people to follow the Vulnerable Monk's suggestion, which is remember that we need to bring peace to this world, right? We need to be the change we want to see. And we need to bring mindfulness into our day. That's really, I tried to practice it in the past, but that reminder has done so much for me. And the Monks for Peace from the Vipassana Center, they are coming back from Sri Lanka, I think either tonight or tomorrow. And they had like an 8-day walk. And if you Google Walk for Peace or Peace on Foot, you can see some of the feed. And I try to post it on my community page for you. But just never forget that. It's so important. So we don't get totally drained by this drama, and caught up in the fear of it and the chaos of it. We need to establish peace within ourselves. That's the mission. That's the homework. That's the prime directive, because that's what when we bring that, we can manifest and create the peace that we want. Okay, I love you. I'm going to leave you to the musical exit that included. And be well. Okay, love you.